He took his daughter for a walk in the woods behind their home, just like he did every day after school. But when they entered the thicket, they found something shocking. A woman was chained to a tree, looking terrified. "Dad, what's wrong with her?" asked Sophie. The man couldn't believe what he was seeing. "Stay here, sweetheart," he told her, approaching the woman slowly. "Can you hear me? Are you okay?" The woman looked at him, tears streaming down her face. "Help me," she whispered. And that's when he knew. This was no ordinary woman. Something terrible had happened to her. But who was this mysterious woman, and why was she chained up in the middle of nowhere? To find out, you have to start at the beginning. A successful businessman and single dad, Nathan Hayes enjoyed life in his picturesque hometown. People saw him as a local hero, running a thriving organic food company that provided jobs to many. With his charming good looks and heroic reputation, Nathan was also quite popular with the ladies. But he remained single, dedicated to raising his 6-year-old daughter Sophie on his own. One day, while driving home from work, he spotted a woman struggling to free herself from the chains binding her to a tree in the middle of the forest. Concerned for her safety, he stopped to help and soon discovered it was a bride who had been chained there by her own father and brother. They had planned to marry her off to a stranger twice her age, but she refused, leading them to abandon her in the forest. Determined to help, Nathan contacted the police, but when they arrived, the girl was gone. Despite the officers' reassurances that they would find her, Nathan couldn't shake the feeling that they had failed. Meanwhile, at the sheriff's station, the local law enforcement was stumped. The only clue they had was a single shoe. Sheriff Brooks knew they needed more resources to crack the case. But with the nearest big city an hour away, backup was slow to arrive. Just when all hope seemed lost, an unexpected visitor arrived. It was Victor, a notorious crime boss from a neighboring state, who had heard about the missing bride and offered his assistance. Despite being wary of Victor's reputation, Brooks knew he didn't have much to lose, and so he accepted the offer. Now, let's get back to our story. In the forest, Lily was starting to lose hope. She had been abandoned and left to die. Suddenly, she heard footsteps and turned to see a man approaching. "Don't be scared," he said. "I'm here to help." Relieved, Lily explained what had happened to her. Touching her swollen hand, Nathan promised to get her out of there. As the sun began to set, Nathan carefully freed Lily from her bonds. Together, they made their way through the forest, talking and laughing. Finally reaching Nathan's car, he drove her to his home without mentioning anything to Sophie. When they arrived, Nathan gave Lily some clothes and introduced her to Sophie. "This is my daughter," he said. "She's going to stay with us for a while." Sophie, always curious, asked questions, but Nathan gently told her it wasn't appropriate to pry into other people's lives. Over the next few days, Lily recovered, regaining her strength and finding comfort in Nathan and Sophie's company. She felt safe for the first time in a long time. Meanwhile, Victor and his team worked tirelessly to gather evidence against the trafficking ring. Using his connections, he managed to infiltrate their operations, discovering the shocking truth. It was Lily's own family who had orchestrated the entire scheme. Her father and brother had been working with the traffickers all along. On the day of the operation, Victor and his team swooped in, arresting everyone involved. Lily's parents and brother were among those taken into custody, leaving her stunned and heartbroken. As news of the bust spread throughout the small town, everyone was shocked. No one had ever imagined such a dark secret lurked beneath the seemingly perfect surface. That night, as Sophie snuggled into Nathan's side, he told her about the importance of helping others, even if they are different from us. "Remember, sweetie," he said, "kindness and compassion can make a world of difference." Sophie nodded, understanding the weight of her father's words. In the following days, Lily's life began to turn around. Nathan helped her find a lawyer and support group, and she started attending therapy sessions to heal from her trauma. Sophie, always the curious one, befriended Lily, and they were inseparable. As the months went by, Nathan noticed romantic feelings developing between him and Lily. He couldn't help but admire her strength and resilience, and she, in turn, appreciated his kindness and support. One evening, as they sat on the porch swing, Nathan finally confessed his love for Lily, and she reciprocated his feelings. They shared a passionate kiss, realizing they had found love in each other after a long time. Meanwhile, Sophie blossomed under Lily's influence. Seeing them together, she felt a sense of closeness she had never experienced before. It was as if Lily were the missing piece of her life, bringing warmth and joy to their home. As the seasons changed, so did their lives. Nathan and Lily's relationship deepened, and they decided to take their love to the next level. One sunny afternoon, Nathan got down on one knee and proposed to Lily. Overwhelmed with emotion, she said yes. News of their engagement spread quickly through the town, and everyone celebrated the happy couple. The memory of their ordeal faded into the background as they focused on building their future together. Years went by, and Nathan and Lily's love only grew stronger. Their daughter, 𝐒𝐢, was born, and they raised her in the same house where Lily had first found refuge. The walls seemed to echo with laughter and joy, a stark contrast to the darkness that had once enveloped those rooms. One evening, as they sat by the fireplace, sipping hot chocolate, Lily turned to Nathan, her eyes shining with gratitude. I don't know what I would have done without you, she whispered. Nathan squeezed her hand, his gaze filled with love. We helped each other, Lily, he replied. You saved me from a life of loneliness and gave me a new purpose. As the fire crackled merrily, casting flickering shadows on the walls, they were joined by Sophie and Emma, their daughter. The sight of her two mothers holding hands brought a smile to Sophie's face. She realized how fortunate she was to have such loving and strong women in her life. Suddenly, Emma piped up. Will you tell us the story about how you met, Mama? Both Lily and Nathan chuckled at their daughter's request. Of course, sweetheart, Lily said, settling down in an armchair. Nathan and Lily looked at each other, a lifetime of love and happiness reflected in their eyes. And as the story began to unfold, the room was filled with anticipation. Emma leaned closer, wide-eyed, eager to hear about the day her parents' lives intertwined. The tale of their love, born in the midst of adversity, was one worth telling, a testament to the power of human resilience and the triumph of love over darkness. In the end, the harrowing experience that had brought them together also became the foundation of their unbreakable bond. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.